What's up, guys? I am back, and you may notice there's a little bit different setup this time around. So I got a little crazy with GoPro accessories. Now I have a chest mount and a wireless mic, so hopefully the audio is a bit better this time around. But if you saw my Instagram post or TikTok post, and if you didn't, you should go check it out. But I made a post talking about that I was going to a new lake today that I found off Google Maps, but this was not just your typical lake, but I'll give you guys a good look at it. You can see the setup here, but as you can see, I'm right behind some people's houses. So I just was going on Google Maps the other night looking at places to go and found this lake. So I was like, looked at the reviews. There were a ton of people pulling huge bass out of here. So I was like, well, I want to go to that lake. But when I got here today, I discovered that it is on private property. But I just went up to a couple of their houses here and just asked kindly to use their lake, to use their backyard, and that I would always be very kind and respectful of their properties, because that is the truth. So that's the thing, is that if you come out with good intentions with things, most people are going to be more polite because you asked instead of just doing it. So this is a completely private lake. No one is supposed to be fishing on it, but yet here I am fishing on it because I was nice. So once again, if you saw the post yesterday, you would have seen that the bait that we're using today, topwater bait, and you can see there's just this beautiful cover line right here. So I'm going to try and get into that area, and then hopefully we can pull a monster out of this lake. Oh shoot. Of course, first cast, didn't even look above me. There's a tree. So I feel like the first cast always has to be like problematic somehow. Like the first cast just always has to be a little bit of a problem. Oh, I heard something jumping in the water. Maybe not nearly as... Okay, it's not really going where I want it to go. I haven't really mastered the sideways cast just yet, but I'm going to try to get away from this tree a little bit. Tree again. And I just lost that one in the tree. I'm telling you, you cannot make... This is such a beautiful spot. Such a once in a lifetime... Not once in a... Okay, Brandon, being a little bit dramatic there. Not once in a lifetime, but how many people get to fish on this? And I didn't realize how far that bait gets out there. Alright, so now we're tied on pretty fast. It's about 10:19. You can see that sun is just blaring. Got this little 3 to 6 feet of water, topwater bait. So I am going to throw that out right after I put on some sunscreen. Let's try to not get stuck this time. Let's try to stay in the water, Brandon. In the water. Alright. This one feels good. Couldn't tell if something maybe just jumped out of the water right there at it. My thought is, if this pond is private, which it definitely is, do these fish even know what it's like to be hooked? Does that help my chances? What I like about this one is that it's directly under, like, the water. I feel like there's gotta be a bass in there. I mean, there just has to be. I don't know. This isn't a huge lake, but it's just so beautiful. Such a pretty neighborhood, such a pretty area. And it's just calm. It's very quiet. This is really peaceful. I mean, so what better thing to do on your day off than to come up to a beautiful place like this and just enjoy the day? I mean, it's a Friday. I work the weekend, but that's okay. Because we just try to live in the moment. Just try to enjoy the fishing. Yeah, but that's a good thing I didn't. That would have been some... I was just thinking, because I was trying to figure out a way to get a kayak up here again, but obviously it was not successful in that. But I was just thinking, if I rolled in here with a kayak, I feel like that would have made for a more interesting... Oh, I couldn't know if I was getting hung up on something there, or something was biting it. Maybe if I cast a little bit more. I just feel like there's something over here, but I just feel like I've got to maybe try to get out there a little further. Absolutely no way that there are no bass in this lake. We just gotta find what they want. I was hoping that using the topwater bait, especially in an area that they aren't used to being fished for, would be beneficial, because I thought that they would be a little bit more aggressive to go for it, because they aren't used to it being a threat. But sadly, that's not how it's going so far. I feel like you can also tell that this area doesn't get fished, because I feel like any fisherman would know, but none of these bushes have any line. Well, I added some, so I guess I christened this spot. You should think of a name for this lake specifically for me, because I'm might be the first fisherman to get something hung up in those. But that's another thing. Well, there might be some bait. I might not be the first. Okay, I take it all back. I see like what looks to be like either a bait or something over there. Oh, I see a lizard. Huh. Yeah, there's a lizard walking right on this downward branch here, right next to the water. So I wonder, maybe after this, if we don't get any hits on this after a couple more casts and stuff, we could maybe switch over to a lizard. You know, this would be an area that if you could really cast outwards that way, like if I could land it perfectly in between, like in the middle of these bushes to where those trees are, but still get far enough back, like that would be, and then just reel it back like this, just right off to the side like that. You're not going to tell me that wouldn't. So, okay, so I can use this as practice time for kind of, I feel like whenever I see people, okay, I mean, I didn't get anything tangled. They might be scared of my shadow. But it's kind of shaded over here, so I don't really... Yeah, I can still kind of see myself whenever I look over, so I'm assuming that if I could see myself, that they could see me. I feel like people always get momentum with their bait casters like this and then throw it like that. I'm not there yet, but maybe one day. I feel like I'm just kind of like, it's like one swing of momentum. Like that. That's what I normally do. This is like one of my favorite like weather patterns. Not the heat, but like, you know, when it's getting fall and you can start kind of feeling the fall breeze, like the wind blowing is a little bit colder. I mean, what else could you ask for? I'm not gonna lie. Coming up and talking to people to use, like, to fish off of their, like, property, I'm not gonna lie, it did kind of give me a little bit of anxiety. I mean, but that's like past medical history, so. But, like, just the thought of having to, like, go knock on a stranger's door. Like, but it's like, I remember doing that as a kid whenever I was doing, remember in public schools when you did, like, fundraisers and you sold, like, the world's finest chocolates? Like, I would go up to all of the people that lived in my neighborhoods. So I really do believe that there are things in here. There's another fish over there that I just saw jump. But we just have to, that's the thing about, like, exploring new places and, you know, just putting yourself out there. Like, I found this place on Google Maps just looking around with the terrain settings. Found this lake. I read some reviews, and I had read that people have gotten some pretty big bass out of here, but I should have looked up if it was public or private. I just read the reviews and saw people were pulling fish out of here, and or maybe I just went to the wrong lake, but this is on Google Maps to, like, a lot of fishing pictures and stuff. Maybe it's just like the residents who live here, because I'm sure they can, but I really appreciate just people's hospitalities. I mean, I think it's an important thing to be grateful for. It's just other, like, strangers' kindness. Because sometimes that's all you need. I mean, so I feel like it's different sometimes coming from a stranger than coming from someone that you know, because there's always that little thought of, is this person just saying this because they know me? If someone's watching this and has experience with these kind of baits that have the beads in them, I know I could just look it up, but I like people's opinions, especially people who have been fishing their entire lives. I feel like they're just, so I want to know, since this has beads in it, like, I feel like I'm supposed to, like, pop it, like poppers. That's why that's why. But I like, do I, like, just continuously do that? Like reel and then pop and then reel and then pop? Or should it be a little bit more synchronized or like just random? So I'd love to hear what people have to say about it. Is that... Please also tell me if I'm dumb and the technical term for this thing is a popper or shake weight. Not like the, you know, tool, but like, you know what I'm trying to say. Fishing people, you know what I'm trying to say. See, so now I'm kind of facing away from the tree line and stuff. What I'm going to try to do is, now that I don't have trees over top of me, if they're more in the middle and I can really sling this thing out there, then maybe that's all I've been needing. It's just to get some further casts out there. I feel like that might be too fast, but I feel like I want to keep it underwater. So is that a... I should probably look up the correct way to fish these, but... Oh shit, I know I'm definitely not supposed to do that. I feel like the bait may have gotten hooked onto itself. Alright, we are back. We have a new bait tied on. Here it is. This is a bit of a heavier one. But if you can see it in the... Well, there is no really sun or anything right now, but as you can see, so we are going to throw this one out, preferably closer towards the middle, because we've seen some, or I hope we have seen some, but at least I have definitely seen some fish jumping out of the water. Okay, we may need to walk back down to where we can just kind of freely cast, because I'm not disrupting their space. So here, I should have pretty open space to just kind of get in here. Let's see what happens. Alright, this one feels really good. Just reeling this thing in, it feels amazing. It's so smooth in the water. Oh, that's really interesting. That's really cool. My first time using this bait too, so it's a day of new lakes and new baits. New lakes and baits. I think I may have just created the name of this series, where it's like every time that I go to a new lake, the first bait should always be one that's new. And that can be like a little series. Let me know if you have any better ideas, or if you really like that one, because I kind of really like that, so I might just go with that regardless of what any of y'all say. I was trying to get my camera on before I got it in, but the camera just wasn't working. But it's just a little tiny catfish. Not what we were going for, but it is a catch nonetheless. So this bait is definitely successful, and I know that there are fish in here. Now, how cool is that? All right, first catch in a while, but I'll take it. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. We actually got something out of this lake. So, whew. got a little lightheaded there. Alright, so as gentle as possible. That's what you love to see. Whew. How exciting. Alright, we are back. So I decided that the big bait wasn't really doing anything because I kind of walked over in here and tried to get close to where whatever those plants, really green ones that are just flat, are coming out. I tried to get over there a little bit from this bank and just wasn't really having any luck. But I have noticed that whenever I'm over in kind of this general area, I feel like a lot of fish are coming up to grab off of the top of the water, and I did see the lizard over here earlier, so I decided to tie on this. And could it be better? Yes. Will it work? Once again, I hope. But I mean, it seems to be pretty seamless. Ignore if you can see any of my previous attempts, but I've been having some pretty good luck today with, well, except for the first couple minutes here, the first couple of casts where I have to start from scratch. But it's not about the, what do they say? It's not about the who starts first, it's who finishes first, or whatever the fuck I'm trying to say. It's like if you're not first, you're last. I think that's it. Oh shit. Oh, son of a bitch. Oh my god, that's horrible. This is the result of not checking your surroundings. Alright, so first thing I'm gonna do, of course, this thing is knotted around the pole too, and now I just dropped it in the water. This is how you can always tell that the fishing session is over. Because of dumb mistakes like this, that is no one else's fault but my own. So I just have to accept that and just keep at it. So next I will make a small incision. I don't even know where the fuck to begin with this thing. See, I'm glad that you guys didn't see my face up until now. My dumbass has been out here with sunscreen right in the middle of my sunglasses, just perfectly. What is it with me and sunscreen? Is that like a thing with me now? Let's see. Oh, now a little top heavy, and okay. Just in need of another accessory, like always. Just see if using the case to kind of prop you against. Damn, there's so many of y'all in there. You guys are heavy. Oh, okay. I'm done with that. Back to being angry. That's what I get for like talking all this shit that I talk. And it's like, does whoever is listening to this stuff not understand that like I use humor as like a coping mechanism? I feel like that's kind of the good thing about my channel is if I ever run out of ideas about videos to post, I will literally tangle this thing up so many times that it'll be like a whole another series. So gone from the fun series that I wouldn't mind doing whatever this would be. I also like can't tell if this goose over here right there, I can't tell if it's like giving birth. Are we like witnessing something extraordinary? All right, so I'm pretty much all packed up now. Didn't really have any luck on anything. I kind of walked over where I was fishing over to the other banks that I said I previously wasn't going to go to, but that's whatever. And I didn't really have any luck with the lizard over there either. So just like a kind of summary for the day, used some swimming baits, had a luck on a catfish, surprisingly. But I think like a frog or a lizard at a different time of day, because it's like 1:10 right now, would have been a lot better. But we will see you on the next adventure. And like always, Josh, thank you for inspiring this.